Recently, a friend gave me this book to read, Praying Circles Around Your Children. And I said, I don't really have time to read that. I've got a whole stack. And she handed it back to me and said, it'll take you 2 hours to read it, Jennifer. You can do it. You were right, Carlisa. I finished it in 2 hours. And I wanted to share with you an excerpt from it. Remember when Samuel went out looking for the next king of Israel, and David's father Jesse didn't even bother to call David in from the fields. David's own dad didn't see who he could or would become. When Jesse looked at David, he saw a shepherd boy. When Samuel looked at David, he saw a king. One of the great dangers of family relationships is that we become blind to beauty and mystery simply because we live in such close proximity. You need a vision for your children. With your physical eyes, you see who a person is. With your spiritual eyes, you see what that person can be. And it's only when you close your physical eyes in prayer that God will open your spiritual eyes to perceive what is far more real than the reality you can perceive with your 5 senses. Now, before you tune this out because you don't have kids, don't worry, I'm going to make the tie-in. But this was so incredible. And, I thought, wow, I never really thought about it like that. When I've read that story so many times, that Jesse didn't even see who his son could be. I remember when our daughters were young, and I would pray, and I would say, God, thank you that they're best friends. And I remember one day looking and seeing one of them look at me like, what is she talking about? And I think they were probably about, 3 and 6 at the time. And, of course, the older one's like, she's always in my stuff. And the younger one was probably feeling like she's always mean. But you know what? They became best friends. And I prayed as if it already had been. But thinking about us, I love that part where it says one of the great dangers of family relationships is that we become blind to beauty and mystery simply because we live in such close proximity. And what are we as the believers? We're the family of God. We're family. And could it be that the same is true for us? That we tend, because we're close and we're family, and this is where it ties in if you're not a parent, that we see each other more as we are and less as what we can be. Perhaps we see more of what we see now, maybe on social media, maybe we see more of what someone says, posts, or says in person, than we do their intentions, than we do their heart. If we did, maybe we would give each other the benefit of the doubt more often. Maybe we would ask more questions versus assume. Maybe we would be quicker to forgive. Maybe when love calls us to always protect, always trust, always hope, and always persevere, we'd be able to do that. I want to ask you, when you're offended by something, or you're in doubt about something, or you question something that somebody, one of your brothers or sisters says or does, what if we pray about it? What if we stopped and we prayed for the person, not just about the situation, but we prayed for the person. We prayed for their relationship with their kids. We prayed for their walk with God. We prayed for their marriage if they're married. We pray for their emotional, their spiritual, their physical well-being. We prayed for their future. I wonder if that would change our perspective about them. In the meantime, I'm going to be praying that the eyes of our heart, our spiritual hearts, are opened, and that we can see each other more as God does and less of what we see right now. Have a great week.